There are many reasons this film is called Haddi. It's the name of the protagonist, who is a trans woman, and we get the horrific backstory of why she came to be called that in youth. As an adult, she comes to own her moniker. This is a revenge saga, and Haddi creates serious trouble for a certain set of people. As the background score reminds us, Gale mein atki Haddi. The title also refers to actual bones. Among other things, the bad guys in the film sell bones. At one point, we get this expository passage about how the flesh of a dead body is separated from the bone and then prepped for sale. This is graphically illustrated with the visual of a leg descending into some sort of acid and then emerging as only Haddi. In another scene, Haddi holds a skull and weeps. Perhaps debutant director Akshat Ajay Sharma was inspired by Hamlet, but the effect is less than Shakespearean. The film begins with Haddi moving from Allahabad to Delhi and joining a gang of transgenders and crossdressers. Early in the film, it's established that Haddi is a ruthless murderer. She's capable of inflicting pain and enduring it. She makes her way into the gang by suffering dozens of punches. But even as her face breaks under the blows, she insists that she can't be killed. "Main marti nahi" is her mantra. Akshat, who co-wrote the story with Agnya Bhalla, takes this to preposterous levels. Like a cockroach, Haddi is repeatedly compared to one. Haddi survives it all, including multiple gunshot wounds. Akshat has been educated in the school of Anurag Kashyap. He was an assistant on Mukkabaz, Manmarziyan and Sacred Games, which means that there is this inherent attraction to the dark and grisly. Akshat isn't afraid of blood. The film's most impressive sequence is a massacre, which ends with the ground bathed in red. Though that slow-motion dance of bodies being slaughtered set against music seems to be the direct descendant of Bijoy Nambiar's unforgettable Khoya Khoya Chand sequence in Shaitan and Sriram Raghavan's exquisite Rabata in Agent Vinod. Akshat clearly has talent, but too much of it is expended in constructing shock and not enough on the writing. It's almost as if the director wants to up the gore meter as high as he can. The film is also muddled in its approach to the characters. On the one hand, there is an effort to portray the brutal circumstances that transgenders endure, the hate and physical and emotional violence which ranges from lynching to snide remarks. On the other hand, the film has a lurid, leering gaze on the community which alienates even more. There are tender scenes between Haddi and her partner, and Haddi and Revati Ma, who heads the gharana where Haddi finds a home. The camaraderie between the women is portrayed with compassion, but it doesn't last long. The film is more interested in setting up Haddi as a dangerous, charismatic killing machine. She stabs, shoots and beats to death half a dozen men and gets the requisite slow-motion action sequence with pounding BGM to establish her prowess. There are passages that have a sort of macabre power, and Nawazuddin Siddiqui is fierce as this damaged, broken woman. In one scene, Haddi weeps and screams that in 35 years, she found one day of happiness and even that was destroyed. It's desperate and moving. Of course, the debate on whether cis-het actors should play trans characters persists, but my bigger concern is the portrayal. Lately, we've started to see trans characters find greater representation on screen, such as Meher, played by Trinetra Haldar Gumaraju in Made in Heaven Season 2, and Rasika, played by Ivanka Das in Ghumar. Both were relatable characters struggling with their own challenges. But Haddi feels like a page out of the Maharani in Sadak Book. Or she could be a distant relative of Chhota Ganchi from Guns and Gulabs, whose first act after coming out is killing her father. Of course, Haddi isn't flat out evil like Maharani, but she is fearsome. Even Nawazuddin's blazing talent can't adequately offset her brutality with her humanity. There's also Anurag Kashyap playing the nasty Pramodji. The director is clearly having a blast, but the character is just too cliched. I'd love to see Anurag face off with Nawazuddin, an actor whose career he helped to construct, but more layered writing would have made this confrontation so much more memorable. You can see Haddi on ZEE5.